Hello everybody and welcome back here to High Button Sports as we get set for some U18 action here at the Amherst Stadium Series. My name's Jeff Warburton, bringing you the call here between the Max and the Knights, two teams that don't see each other very often, but they will here in our opening game, our solo game of the night here on a snowy, dark Friday night here in Amherst, and we are just about ready to go with puck drop. The Max 19-0-0-0, taking on the 5-11 Knights here from the New Brunswick League, right here on highbuttonsports.ca. And we are just about ready to go. My first time in this rink. I don't know if our Nova Scotia League's teams come up here too often, so probably the first time for a couple of these fellas as well. And we're going to get right into it as the puck is dropped and it's worked down the right side. Proud works it across here as the Knights try to get it up through the middle. Macdonald down into the left side corner. Plays that around and knocked back by Doyle. Guinness going to pick it, or Fleming picks that up, hands that up. Love it, brings it in over the line, looking for some open room on the left side as Doyle comes in. Max, retain possession. Picked up over to Proud. Proud snaps the pass to Macdonald on the right side, and Fleming going to swing that one back in as Dunn chases. Dunn overskates that. Halifax getting pressured. They're pressuring down low into the right side corner. Knights looking to work that up. Fleming keeps a stick on it, tries to break up the play, gets back to Truin. Truin over the left side, and the Max break that back in as the Knights get the change here a minute in. So, quick pace here through the first minute. As a couple of snapped passes along the ice there in the offensive zone for the Max. A good tempo team the type of team where you follow their pace and try to keep up. Results in a lot of wins, especially this season. That one's sent down as Creelman chases. We'll try again. Back into the right side here. So you're following their tempo and you're hoping to get a couple by as Campbell in net here for the Max on the opening game of the weekend. Puck dropped in. Campbell worked back. Knights evade the check as Bottomley comes in. Bottomley works down low. Puck gets handed off. Max trying to put that out on the doorstep. Knights intercept that and now lead pass off the mark as that misses onto the stick of Creelman as McPhee tried to get it over. Now Liver down the left side. Liver tries to feather one into the right side to Bottomley. Instead, they chase it to the end wall. Down in the corner. Knights snap a pass out to the middle. That one on the money this time as McLaughlin tries to get it up ahead. Sent back in behind for Creelman. Riley Clearman, the captain, up ahead by Shear. Shear lays a bit of a check, comes back down in for Creelman. Creelman around the boards near Bottomley. Pierce pressures. Puck sent on. Back in behind. Weatherby tries to pressure on Suds. Bottomley getting pressured along the left side as the Knights get their first sustained pressure here in the offensive zone. Creelman, though, retrieves that. Flicks it up off the glass. McDonald has it off the boot, and they'll play it back there instead. Pierce under the foot there. McDonald cuts in behind on the defensive zone. Weatherby tips that in low and wasn't quite at the red line. So they go for the icing, and some words exchanged between the ref and Weatherby on if that one should have gone or not. Face off here to the right side. Puck drops in near the end boards. Back to Bootleer, but it won't make it to him, and it'll be down the left side instead. McGinnis chip and chase. Breen gets to it first. McGinnis sticking with it, though. Fought for down along the end boards. McGinnis pressured. Haverstock picks it up. The rookie tries to center that puck. Pressure on Proud. Proud. Nice heads up pass to McGinnis and then a reverse pass back. And now Hunter's going to break that in. Hunter chips and chases that. Breen picks it up to Haverstock. Haverstock fields that nicely. Looking for a lane to break it out. McKay has to tag up and he won't get there as McKay and Haverstock not on the same page for that rush as they break into the zone unsuccessfully. Face-off will come into the neutral zone. Couple minutes into this one and a quick pace to start. Knights over to the right. Rinko, he'll get a whack at it. Hits the end boards. Guinish around the boards. Rinko down to the corner. Truin kicks it up to Odell. Odell gonna chip that back over to Dunn. Dunn fires it back to Odell. Picked up by Rinko offside, and now another questioning about the line play there and the whistles, but the face-off coming to the neutral zone. Grab by Proud. Proud to the end boards. From the corner, Rinko doesn't really see anyone, but it's going to take a friendly bounce for the Knights. Then over to Odell. Odell, he blocks it. Gets pinched in along the boards there as Doyle looks to get it up. Doyle back him over Truin. Truin snaps the pass up to Uzuchukwu. Uzuchukwu has it bounce off the stick. McDonald there in the middle. Uzuchukwu, the former Seal Subaru, playing for the Max this year. Into the middle, and turnover right there on net, and a quick shot on, and the first shot on net for the Knights is a pretty good one as McLaughlin got that off, and Campbell had to be sharp. Circling around here is McPhee. McPhee loses the puck there. Welsh hit lead and tries to find McKenzie. That's going to be too far and out of the reach, and whistle goes there. We'll head down the right side. Not even 5 minutes into this game. Shots 3-2. A good pace here to start. Puck dropped into the feet, and the Max with a shot on. That one's not going to catch the net, but a nice little stick lift and a spinning shot blocked. Back to Creelman. Creelman has to wait for that to come out and hands that off to Suds. Suds sends it in. Campbell picks it up. Campbell lets it go. Suds picks it up and sent on in another cover. As the bodies start to fill up here in Amherst. And up here in Amherst, I came from Halifax this morning, and there wasn't a ton of snow, maybe a little slush on the ground, we'll call it there in Halifax, but up here in Amherst, it was a full-on snowfall. The roads weren't terrible, but everything surrounding the roads definitely looked like they got hit with a couple inches of snow last night. So the seasons are changing here in this 2025 season. And a nice cold night here in Amherst. Fleming. He spins down to the left side corner. Sullivan, little pressure on there. Fleming comes in, helps out a little bit as it gets worked into the right side corner. Another hit on Fleming. Good hard-nosed shift for him so far, but the pass gets out of the zone. Now trying to spring the breakaway to McLaughlin. Now they're going to have to tag up. Is McClinton there? McPhee pressures as well, and that'll force the offside. Face-off will be in the neutral zone once again. Fresh legs out for both sides. Shear over to Bottomley. Bottomley going to spin and fire that into the end boards. Bootlier shoots. That one catches a skate before it can make it in front. Splitting the D now. Breen's chasing. Breen into the end wall. Breen trying to shake off some hits and some sticks. Moore getting pressure by Shear. Witherby going to spin that back and around. Witherby chips down. Moore onto that. But the Max pick it up in their own end and look to break it out. Bottomley can't quite clear that down the right side. McDonald's picking it up. Hand it off. Pass McGinnis. Shear spins in front. Bottomley slowed it up, but all sorts of pressure by McDonald down there near the goal line. Max back to the line. Bootlier left side. Pass won't get through, and it gets past Breen on the goal on the blue line there. Shear, quick pass over to Bootlier. Pressure coming in from McInnes. Bootlier will reset over to Shear now. Breen, good little breakout there for the Max. Little two-pass breakout to get themselves out of trouble deep in their own end. Doesn't exactly stick out on camera, but it's a good way to deal with a little pressure coming your way and get a clean out. Strong now picking it up. Strong, the leading point scorer for the U15 league last year. Truin tries to get that pass across. Had McKay on the doorstep, but didn't bounce the way of the Max, and it'll come outside the zone. Strong hands that back. Max in behind. Head up, pass to Truin. Quickly knocked off the stick there as Guinness tries to stick with him. Guinness sticks with Rinko down into the corner, uses the body. Over to Haverstock. Haverstock now. 3-on-3 working the other way. McDonald coming in with pressure. Nice play over to Truin. Truin shoots, and a big save there in net. Quality look there. Back to the blue line. Pass hits a stick. Shaft of a stick. That's going to bounce into the glass in behind. Now McDonald snaps it over to Rinko. Rinko off the skate of Guinness and in behind. Doyle gets to it first. Doyle tries to feather something in there in front. Not quite working for him. Dunn falls down. Puck gets freed up for the Max. McKay steps in. Another big save there. Rebound comes out. Knight's able to clear the front of the net. Turn it over though. McKay spins and shoots. Blocker to the corner. Now moving up ahead down the right side here. McDonald. He went head of steam. Didn't get very far. Back in for the Knights. They try to hold up. Welsh takes advantage of it. Welsh looking for the pass. Can't quite make it through. He had the on-rushing Odell coming in. And offside there on the blue line by a hair as the Knights tried to spin that back the other way. We talked to Doyle, the leading point scorer there for the Knights before the game. He said that this team, despite their spot in the standings, have really kind of been catching a rhythm the last little while. Playing at the top of their games right now, and they're going pretty good through the first 9 or so minutes of this first against Nova Scotia's top team in the Max. That one's turned over. Welsh in on net. Rebound on the right side, and a good pad save there. 2 quick looks as the Max into Odell. Shoots and won't get through. A couple of grade A chances there off the draw. Back in behind. Along the right side. Picked up, past the stick of Creelman. That's going to clear back in behind, and Campbell, the netminder, has that arm up and gives the ref a little help there as that one goes for the icing. Face off on the right here. Face off coming. Puck dropped in McClinton. Pardon me. Welsh trying to muscle that through. Welsh looking for the wraparound onto the stick. Backhand, and they'll go for the cover. Face off. Here to the right. Back into the end boards. Looking for the wraparound. The puck is there in the corner. Not quite in, and the ref will blow the whistle before. And a bit of a pile up there in front. Lovett was working away on that and thought that maybe he got that over the line, but whatever the case, won't go. And Kennedy, the netminder for the Knights, gets credited with the stop. And that was our first real big scrum in front. Max looking to recreate that here. Back to Boutlier. Boutlier, D-to-D pass there, left side, shot steered away by Kennedy. Love it. Little chip play, nice job up the left side wall. Shot slowed up in front, and Kennedy covers. Puck will come and stay, actually, in the Knight zone here. Puck back to the blue line. Bouncing, hits the end boards. Kind of tied up there, Macdonald. Flipped off the wall, back in behind. Truin chases. Truin, whoa, and pressures more, and a good man-on-man battle there behind the net. Prioritizing the body over the puck, and now the arm goes up, and it'll be a penalty against the Max. And another hit there. Penalty, head contact. So the first power play of the game is going to go to the Knights. And I don't know if that hit late. Oh, and it did. So more with the hit, I believe, after the whistle there, I suppose. That's going to wipe out the power play. Well, yeah, okay, so 5-on-5. So no power plays quite yet. And the Max bailed out there as it looked like they were heading to the box on the head contact, but not the case. Shot 7-2 for the Max. Face off here to the left as we break into the back half of the first. Puck dropped in. Truin over to Proud. Proud grabs and gets it in behind. Guinness Chases. Trying to get that to Strong. McInnes down low. Flip back to McKay, but it won't get to him. Instead, the Knights hammer it back in. Guinish goes head up, looking for a lane. Not going to make it out. Hunter chases. Hunter back to the end boards. McInnes tries to spin it out in front, and it was on the doorstep for a second. McKay picks it up. Into the feet there of Haverstock. Haverstock gets tangled up there with Dunn. Guinish back over. Turned over here now in front. Handed off McInnes. Shot! And glove save there by Campbell. Good job tracking. Had a bit of a screen there in front. Campbell tracked that good though and ends up in the glove. And we have another whistle here. Puck dropped in. Suds works it around by Rinko. Knights are going to have to put that back in as Creelman gets it back to Suds. Snaps a pass up the left side. Now up to Welsh, but offside on the line. And not the first time that the blue line there has caused a whistle. It's actually been quite a few times here in the first. Maybe something to do with the fast pace. It's moving quick, and sometimes the puck and the skates aren't quite on the same page. Trying to break this in. It has been kind of back and forth, end to end a little bit too. That'll affect it. Up ahead to Uzuchukwu. He'll tip it down low. Tries to chase that in. Uzuchukwu gets the pass off. Now they try to center it in front off the foot. Knights survey. Back to the corner. McKenzie. He'll get pressured in there. Picked up by Welsh. Welsh surveys again. Uzuchukwu on the backhand. Back to Suds. Suds steps in, hits off a skate of McKenzie and goes wide. Spinning back to Suds. Gavin Suds to the end board. Oh, and that one fired into the Charlottetown bench. Trying to kiss it off the glass. Face off on the right. And Welsh kind of getting into it right here in front of us with McDonald. A little back and forth. Hasn't been the roughest game here through 12 minutes, but there's been a little bit. Something we could keep an eye on as we continue through. And the whistle goes for our media timeout. And I want to take a moment to say thanks to our sponsor, Some Good, here in the U18 League. Healthy pregame freezies. Make sure you check out Some Good. That's SUMGOOD. And support our high button U18 Major Leagues. So 8:11 left to go here in the first. Face off on the right side. Little reset, still scoreless. Face off on the right side, love it. Tries to spin that back in. Knights chip that up the left side. McLaughlin after it. McLaughlin in the corner. And the arms go up. Not sure what the whistle was on that one. Maybe caught mesh or something, but on the left side we'll have it. Shot goes to the right side. Into the goal line. Boutlier puts that up near Pierce. Max down the right, in over the line, and back into the bench, and an extra push. Then McLaughlin will head to the box. So maybe a little bit of that hatred seeping through, as not really the most intentional play there, and Max now head to the power play. 7:42 left to go here in the first. Puck dropped in, over to McKenzie. McKenzie fires it hard enough to get by the stick on the blue line and in behind to start the PK. Creelman circles around. Creelman. Drop pass, the old drop pass. Oh, so relevant here at the high levels of minor hockey these days. Guinish, nice job there on the blue line under pressure. Gets it down low. Back to Guinish. He hands it to Creelman. Creelman looking to open up a lane, hands it down to the right side. Liver bounces off the stick, back to Creelman. Liver helps out his Bottomley, gets it down to Creelman. He shoots it, a nice little hot shot there off the pad. It's going to head back down to Campbell. Creelman circling. Max up ahead with it, trying to get it to Bottomley. Guinish gets worked into the wall. Bottomley lays the hit. Guinish hands back to Creelman. Captain over to the left side. Looking for the shot through by Liver, and it goes wide. Back to Creelman. Guinish. Creelman. Hand it off. Liver now. Creelman keeps it in on the line. First power play unit here for the Max has been out the whole time. Shot goes wide there. 26 seconds to go on the man advantage. Creelman over. Doorstep. Liver. He had a bit of an empty net there to shoot at. I think maybe the eyes lit up as it blew up off the end of the stick. Liver now picks it up in behind. He'll slow up. Right side. Feeds it through with a nice saucer all the way across. Now Guinness shoots, pad save. Back to 5-on-5. Knights put some pressure on here on the line. To Creelman. Creelman in behind on the right side to the Knights. Up ahead and offside. And that was the right call there. A little too excited waiting for that puck to come in to the stick. And not much of an argument there. Down on the ice there by McLaughlin as it heads down the right side. Still scoreless through 5:30. Picks up to the end boards. Proud. Turns it over on the hash marks. Gets in behind for Truin. Proud. Knights. Try to get that out, but possession going to the Halifax Max here for the most part here the back half of this period so far. Fleming shoots. Kennedy makes the save in the blue paint. We'll get the cover with exactly 5 minutes to go here in the first. And shots 10-2 here for the Max. Puck dropped in. McLaughlin. He starts to head out. In over the line by a hair with McGinnis. McGinnis tries to field that. He does, and it gets under the pad there, Campbell, as he stays sharp once again. That one was kind of a cheeky one. Face-off will be to the left side here, 12 seconds after our last face-off. So we got games here in Amherst all weekend long. Make sure you tune in only on highbuttonsports.ca or the High Button Sports YouTube channel. Max over to Welsh. Welsh off the stick. Doyle steers it in. Into the left side corner. Rinko knocked off the stick there. Donald pressuring Welsh. In behind. Knights flip it. That one goes into the Max bench this time. So we'll try again. 4:26. Face off right here in front of us. Doyle gets it over to McDonald. The Rinko shoots, hits, and arm is up for a penalty. Kind of away from the play there, I believe, a holding call. And that will be on the Max Welsh. So the Knights will get their first power play of the night, trying to get the first goal. Face off coming. 4:20 remaining in the first. Puck dropped in, Clinton. Clinton drops that back in behind Guinish. Up the right side wall with it. Chips into the end boards. Back to Clinton. Gets it Campbell over to the right side, handed off McDonald. Shoot, can't get it through. A nice block there. And he had some zip on that shot, and it's over to the right side. Knights shooting the stick. Might have broken that last one. Has split in the middle of it. Something got hit hard there off that shot attempt. Now McDonald knocked off before he can get the shot. Now Max look to work the other way. Shear looking for a lane. Shear gets held up a little bit. Can't get through, and the arm goes up. And that one might be on Shear there as well. For hooking, holding. So a golden opportunity here for the Knights to break through on the scoring. 3:31 to go in the first, and a minute and 11 of 5-on-3 time. And an interesting call on that last one, as Shear was kind of trying to break through the middle to look for maybe a short-handed breakaway. Instead got tangled up and finds himself in the box. Knights over to Clinton. Clinton hands it off to the goal line. Doorstep, McDonald passed across. Oh, and what a glove save that was there. Campbell with a highway robbery here in Amherst. That thing was as good as in the back of the net and somehow stayed out. And by far the save of the game here so far. I mean, you want to talk about an open net until it wasn't. What a stop there. We've even got some parents in the stands imitating the body position that Campbell just made to make that save. And the highlight of the game so far, Campbell down low here for Doyle. Campbell on the doorstep on Campbell. A little Campbell on Campbell action there, as there is one on the Knights power play here. 5-on-3. Looking to move it up ahead. Shot not going to make it through. They'll have to reset. 40 seconds on 5-on-3. That one tips off a stick. Love it. Into the corner. Try to get that back down low. Charlottetown makes a move. Clinton, left side. McDonald shoots, scores. And he breaks the scoring here. 1-0 on the 5-on-3. And McDonald with a snipe from the left side. And that will be our first goal of the game on the 6th shot of the game. And the Knights make good on their 5-on-3. So a minute and 15 of power play time here too. So if you're the Max, who have played a good first period here, I'd say all in all, you definitely don't want to see another one go in here. Just kind of stop it in its tracks. Left side, McInnes dumps and chases in there. Breen's going to wrap that around the boards nicely on the PK. Proud's going to get to it first. Shear, back to Proud. Over to Odell. Odell picks it up. Kennedy will slow it in behind. 33 seconds on the 5-on-4. Hand it off to the Knights, trying to evade the check and losing a glove there. Puck back in behind. McInnes. Knights. Back to McInnes. Poked at. Get maybe a little lackadaisical there with the puck. is about 30 seconds of the power play killed off here. And that'll take us to the end of the power play with about 90 seconds to go in the period. McPhee bobbing and weaving in front of his own net up to Hunter. Hunter hands it off. Knights. Slavago gets knocked off of it. Guinish picks up, hands off. Puck goes high in the sky. Comes back down near center ice. Looking for a burst of speed up the right side. There's Breen. All sorts of black jerseys around him. They're yelling, move it. Minute to go here officially in the first. And they'll go for the whistle. So 55 seconds remaining here in the first. Puck dropped in, back to Trewin. Trewin headed off to the left on the blue line, off some shin pads, and that will find the wooden seats here at the Amherst Arena. Amherst Stadium, maybe, I believe is the name. Face off here on the right side. Puck dropped in, kicked up the right side. Back down under the glove, Bottomley. Bottomley to the blue line. Bottomley shot. That one gloved but not corralled. Into Guinish. Guinish. End boards, 30 seconds to go. Fleming getting pressured there. Doyle tries to skate out of the right side corner with it. It's back to Fleming. Played to the corner and flipped on back. 18 seconds to go here in the first. Guinish, long way around, turns it over. McDonald tries to keep it in, could not do so. Tried his best there. Only way that would have worked is to do the stop up and just trying to backhand that into no man's land there, and who knows what that could have turned into, so he tried to pick up and scoop around. Puck dropped in, down the right side. Max looking for something here late. 3 seconds to go, handed off in front, and that will take us to the end of the first. So 1-0 off a 5-on-3 goal here by the Knights. We'll be back for the second in a moment. All right, everybody, welcome back here to High Button Sports for period number 2 of our Stadium Series Showcase. And we are underway here in Amherst for the second period. 1-0 lead for the Knights as the Macs look to tie this thing up. And we'll get right into it. That one down the left side in behind to McDonald. Lovett comes in trying to go for the hit there, and the Knights snap a pass up through the middle and going to leave that and trying for the tag up and set for the ice. So head down the right side just a few seconds in. Want to thank everyone for tuning in here on High Button Sports for this game here on a Friday night. Like I said, we appreciate the support all season long. It's crazy to think we started this U18 season halfway through September, and how many months in and how many games we are in to another season here. Fleming brings that in on the left side. Fleming has a little time to shoot, and it bounces right up to Sullivan, but it kind of blows up off of his stick, the rebound. McKenzie picks it up. McKenzie chips it up the wall in behind. Truin slows it down. Truin snaps a big shot down the other way, and that'll be icing. So 2 icings in the first minute as we look to get our legs under us here in the second. Seriously appreciate, though, all the support here on High Button as we kind of get ready for the second half of the U18 regular season. Lots and lots on the go in the back half this year, including Ice Jam, which will be on highbuttonsports.ca next month. We still got the holidays to get through there. Bottomley steps in, big ol' rebound, and a glove save the other way. A robbery and something about that crease, as that thing was another one that was as good as goal. And that Kennedy with a stop there that has me a little speechless. Right there in front. You can't draw it up any better in terms of a rebound, but this game is still 1-0. And the Macs coming out of the gate here, buzzing. Puck dropped in, back near the blue line. Ricochets off a stick in behind for Campbell. Campbell, leading play in behind for Guinish. Guinish going to cut back into his own end. Guinish over to the right side, Max. Over to Liver. Liver on the stick. Nice job receiving that pass. Liver tries to feed that through on the backhand to Shear. Shear from the half wall into Bottomley. Bottomley shoots, steered aside. Shear along the left. Max. Flip that back to the line for Creelman. Creelman over to Bottomley. Bottomley trying to spin that back around. Hand it off to the Knights. Creelman chop at it. Lead play, nice job there to McLaughlin. McLaughlin steps in, shoots, puts it through the legs, but it misses by about half a foot on the left post there. Max over the blue line. Stepping in, Liver. Liver in behind a Dunn. Dunn goes head up. Passes to the left side onto the stick there, McPhee. McPhee has McLaughlin in front, fed through, and McLaughlin got a stick on it, but it goes wide to the right, and a good look there for the Knights, best of the period. Max will win with numbers the other way. Down in behind on the wraparound, hits off the pad. Knights flip that into the open space, but Liver on top of it. Good shift for number 20 there. Gets sent down for the icing, though. 2.5 minutes into the second, back into the Knights' end. We showed a little bit of the head-to-head there between these two teams. Similar power play percentage. You can see some leading scorers there. Bottomley, Fleming, Guinish, Doyle, McDonald, and McLaughlin on the other side. So Bottomley, the top scorer in the U16 league last year for the Basin Armada, has come up to the Max and made a big impact here on the team from Halifax. Knights over to the left. That one's over skated. Haverstock's going to feed that back into the end boards. Proud chasing near the end wall to the blue line. Max Moore lays a bit of a hit there. Frees the puck up. Evading the check in behind. Shot on. Campbell makes the stop, heads in behind the net. Knights on the left. Flip it back to the blue line. Over there to Pierce. Pierce finds an open man on the left side, but Silvago kind of had the old saucer eyes, I like to call them, when you know you're about to get into a good shooting lane or a good shooting spot, and the puck kind of fumbles on the stick because you maybe lose focus for just half a second there. Uzuchukwu touches that up to take away the icing. Pierce back in behind, over to McDonald. Jumps off the stick of McDonald over to Odell. Odell tries to feed that through. Suds. Tip off the pad. Odell shoots. It goes wide. Bull Pit has that go by. Suds. To the end boards. Kennedy. Kennedy tries to go up the left wall with it. Picked up. Knights. Knights in over the red line. Past the stick of Studs in behind for Odell. Odell around the right side. Into the feet. Welsh. Now near center. Max in behind for Kennedy. Kennedy back over to Odell. Left side, Welsh. Along the end boards, everyone starts to dig away. Knights flip it off the wall. Truin chases, and that's going to be sent down for an easy icing call. Face-off comes back to the left. Puck dropped in and rushed at. Lovett down low. Lovett gets it in behind for Sullivan. Sullivan getting pressure by McDonald. Frees it up for Fleming. Fleming on the blue line over to Guinish. Guinish looking for a lane. He'll fan on it. Gets the pass the second time around. Now shot. Tip to the end wall. Up off the hash marks. In behind for Guinish. Guinish to the middle for Fleming. McDonald. Fleming going at it. McGinnis, reverse check there. Nicely done. As the Knights trying to get some sustained, or get this puck out of their end. McDonald's doing a good job of pressuring down low. Up through the middle. Max into the feet. That's going to bumble its way through into the end boards. Guinish chasing. McGinnis has it taken away, and the Max look for the breakout. Probably in need of a change here. Creelman hands it off to Guinish. Guinish finds Sullivan on the left side. Sullivan. Over to Guinish. He'll get it down and behind for Doyle. Doyle. Off the glass. Jumps up and it comes back down. Now it's offside on the blue line. .801 with 13:58 to go here in the second, as we're just about at the halfway mark in this game. 1-0 still to score, 15-9 the shot, so Knights kind of close that gap a little bit. Max over to Liver. Liver up ahead, Shear down low. Proud with some pressure. The Knights have done a good job of kind of going into the defense mode since that leading goal they took on the 5-on-3 in the first. The Max certainly pushing the pace here still, but Knights trying to just keep him to the outside. Worked in along the end boards, trying to center. Proud. Over there to Bootlier. Bootlier. Back in behind to Breen. Now steered to the end wall. Trying to work that in front. McDonald to the corner. Off the glass. Rinko looks for it. Instead it gets over to Breen. Nice little shooting lane here. Block. Oh, and an absolute stinger there to Dunn as he gets up and tries to rejoin the play, but that could not have felt good. Along the end wall. Max trying to push that up ahead. Leading play comes back down. It was almost a breakaway chance for McDonald as the Knights try to get cheeky with it, but it gets over to Campbell. Shoots just wide on the left, and a good look there for Campbell, who is just coming fresh off the bench. Back to the middle, McLaughlin. McLaughlin looking for a lane. Hands that over, and it just goes wide again. And a good chance. Just misses as the Knights sniff on a couple looks. Back to the left side, Campbell. Looking for McLaughlin in front. Gets broken up. Penalty coming here to the Knights. Hauled down on the hold. And this will be an opportunity as McPhee heads to the box. Face-off will come back down the left side. And the power play unit, that's at 29%, is looking to go to work here. Truin on the doorstep. Nice job there. Backhands it. Kennedy was there for the stop. In behind for Truin. Truin on the blue line over to Welsh. Welsh. Truin. Back to Welsh. Truin. Shot through traffic off the pad. Rebound there on the doorstep. Trying to hand that through. Picked up Truin. Nice job grabbing that out of the air. Puts it down to the corner. Welsh needs to wait for the one hop on it. Again, the Max maintain possession. Spitting it through. Good hustle there by Odell. Calm, cool, collected player out there, Carter Odell. He's been like that since U13, AAA, Tassa Ducks back in the day. He's always had that sort of style. Kept the puck in on that one. And now he's waiting in that Draisaitl area, looking for an open puck. Truin going to shoot it in instead, and they'll chase after it along the wall. Picked up, fed over, now onto the right side, steps in, shot blocked. And the Knights are going bodies on the line here. Two big blocks here on the PK, 46 seconds to go on the Max power play. Handing it to Bottomley as they get the second unit out there. Bottomley, he's going up ahead. Bottomley, nice little drop-off pass there. Shot saved on Scheer. Nice little connection there by the two Max players, but save made as we inch closer to that halfway mark. Puck dropped in. Max field it cleanly. Right side now, down low. Picked up, Bottomley, hands it off. Over to Creelman. Creelman works along the blue line. Onto the doorstep. Halifax, drop that off. Looking for the shot. Bounces to the left side corner. Max. Liver. Passed over. Shot. And had Kennedy confused there for a sec. Thought maybe it slipped under. But the pad put the pressure on just in time for the save. Face off will be to the left. Face off will come, and puck dropped in. McKenzie over to Lovett. He gloves it down into the field to Rinko. Sent to the end boards. Creelman will touch it up. 10:02 left to go here. Try that one again. Back to even strength here. 20-9 the shot. So the Knights with a big kill at the midway point in this matchup. Guinness harpoons one in there that goes wide. Max to the corner. Lovett looking for it. Chipped up the wall. Haverstock waits as Guinness skates after it. Trying to get that to the doorstep. McKenzie back over for Doyle. Doyle whacks at it, love it. Back down the corner and in behind. Campbell slows it up, now Guinish. Puts it to the right side. That brought in almost onside, but it's back the other way instead. Knights, Guinish, chip play, up the wall. Comes back down to Creelman. Back to the blue line. In behind for Creelman. Hand it off, Haverstock. Haverstock across the line, gets to Uzuchukwu. Uzuchukwu back to the opposite corner. Haverstock goes in. Knights come out with it. Backhand makes it through a couple sticks over here to Witherby. Just onside on the right side, but loses control of it to Suds. Picked up Max. Trying to snap that pass through. It'll head into the bench there of the Max. And we'll head to our media timeout. And like I said, I want to thank our sponsors here, Some Good, SUMGOOG, for healthy freezies, pre-game, post-game, and anytime you just need that health kick. As 1-0 here, the score. They're getting a quick word on the Max bench here in front of us. With 8:33 to go in the second. We are past the halfway mark in this one. 20-9 the shots.
1-0 the score still.
Puck handed over, Proud. Proud tries to get it to Dunn. Gets worked and sent out for what surely will be an icing, and it is. Back down the left side. So there's some U18 teams that are in the Nova Scotia League who aren't here right now, but they will be playing tomorrow. So make sure you keep an eye on the Saturday-Sunday slate here on High Button, as the rest of the U18 teams will be going at it. Suds turns that over, and a quick shot there in front by the Knights as Campbell has had to stay sharp back there. There's been some good looks on him through this game, despite only 10 shots. At least half of them have been quality. Along the end boards, Suds frees it up for his D partner, Trewin. Gets a pass, hits Liver's stick. Back here near center, McPhee. McPhee looking for a lane. Tries to hand that off. Left side, tips off the stick in behind. Trewin again leaving it for Suds. Welsh tries to catch it. Stick lifted, and the Knights have numbers. Shot, scores! And another snipe finds the back of the net. And the Knights will take a 2-0 lead here. 20-10 the shots, and on the 11th shot of the game for the Knights, they find the back of the net. 7:27 to go here in the second. So the Max find themselves down here past the halfway mark, and they're, despite playing a pretty solid game here, just have not been able to get by Kennedy. I've liked their play, and I've liked some of the looks they've got. But right now, it's time to turn it up as they're down 2. A little cushion goal there as the stick goes well in the air. No call there. Knights pick it up. Slavago pushes that into the end boards. Bootlier gets to it. Tipped off a few sticks, and the Max try to work that out. You know this Max team, though. They come at you in waves, and if they get one, they'll be on top of you. So right now, what the Knights did so well after that first goal was hold them pat, and they're going to need something here similar with 6:50 to go in the second. Great game of hockey here on a Friday night. Fleming. Slavago picks it up over to Moore, and penalty there. So to the PK. And we were just talking about a crucial PK here now with 6:35 to go in the second. Witherby heads off, and the Macs are going to be drawing up their best plays and giving it their best effort here. Trying to make this a one-goal game once again. Macs win it back. Little fumble by Guinness, but they maintain half possession along the half wall there. Now it's in behind. Picked up, back to the blue line. Over there to Scheer. Now Creelman. Creelman looking for Guinness. Down to the right side. Liver. Liver. Tries to find a lane and they score. Hits off a skate in front. And the Macs will get a cheeky one on the power play and put themselves right back in it. Took 30 seconds. And that's what it took to beat Kennedy. One ricocheting off a skate. And we're back to a 2-1 game. To center we go. Puck dropped in. Chipped up the wall. That's going to come down for Guinness. So Max with a little bit more momentum back on their side. Oh, and a great block there by Creelman, as that was a point-blank look on Campbell, and Creelman's stick ricochets that into the mesh. And a fantastic defensive play there by the captain, who also is part of our High Button Media Day a couple months ago, along with Carter Odell. So got to meet Creelman, get to know him a little bit here with the Macs, and remember to keep an eye out for those videos as they continue on through the season from our first annual High Button Media Day here in the U18 League. Left side corner. McKenzie in behind, Haverstock trying to put some pressure. Knights snap a pass up near center, trying for the on-rushing chance. Over, nice shot on there, Rinko, and if I was to guess, the word being spread down there on the Knights bench is shoot, 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 as both goals have come from shots. And trying to go with what works against a stellar goaltender here in Campbell. Face off to the right. Puck dropped into the feet of Sullivan. Suds has it go by the stick in behind for Fleming. Fleming back to Sullivan. Gets caught up in the skates. Knights swing at it. Fleming pressured by McInnes. Bullpit pressuring as well. Knights keep it in off a nice boot play there. And that one then sent well into the ceiling here. Face-off will be on the right with under 5 minutes to go here now. Picked up in behind on the right side. Knights back to Dunn. Dunn slowed up in front. McPhee chases after it. Comes around for Sullivan. Flipped off the boards. In near the end wall, back to McPhee. Snaps a pass there to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to the right side. McLaughlin in on net. Shot hits the mask. Truin pressured. Knights trying to keep the pace up. Play off in front, but it hits off a stick, and now Lovett going one-on-one with Proud. Lovett back the other way. Max in on net. Shot and scores. Finds the back of the net, and just like that, we are all tied up. 2-2 off the breakaway. Got the netminder down and slid it under. We'll head back to center, and I was talking about this team coming at you in waves, and that one offside by Witherby. He was getting a little frustrated out there, took a penalty that led to that first goal. 4:16 to go, so just like that, it was 2-0 a moment ago, and now 2-2. So the Max picked their spot, tied this game up. Knights playing a good game here, obviously. Was just leading until moments ago. This one has been close. Breen in on the right side. Breen back in behind for McDonald. In behind for Welsh. Welsh in amongst the feet. Slovaggio plays it in behind. Under 4 minutes to go here. Pressured along the boards. Boutlier. They're trying to spin out of it. Boutlier. Pick it up. Off a skate. Max looking for their clean breakout. Gonna flip it off the boards. Nicely done there. Uzuchukwu gets to it first. Fans on it. Now onto the stick. Odell, the goalie. Odell shot that home, but it was a interference there. And now some back and forth there along the boards. Another big old fight along the boards now. And a couple of full-on fights along the wall, and they both go down. And that's about as close to a line brawl as we're going to get. And frustration's boiling over. I think it was because of the shot after the whistle there. And Creelman steps up. And some heavy jawing as well, as Odell heads to the box, and the man who I said was calm, cool, and collected earlier in this game just fought. So, 3:32 to go, and it was bubbling over a little bit, but I don't know if I saw that one coming. The initial penalty was on goaltender interference as they ran into Kennedy. Odell had the puck right on his stick and fired it home over the goaltender and his own player. And I think that extra shot after the whistle is what kind of put the flint to the fire there. Flint and steel, I suppose, is that one kind of just blew up. And 4 guys in the box, 3:32 to go in the second. And now they're going to add an extra one there for the Knights. And this might take a second to sort. And it'll be interesting to kind of see. Still a little bit of time left here in the second and the third period, so that definitely set the tone here for the last portion of this game. And someone's heading off for the period. Rinko and Moore, and then they'll send Odell and Creelman off as well. And they'll just have one guy sitting in there for the Knights now. And I will head down the left side. So I thought the initial power play was going to be for the Knights, but they're the only one with someone in the box currently. This might just have to be one that I wait out. They do have the 2-minute penalty up there against the Knights, so Max might have come out of this with a power play after thinking they took the lead there just moments ago. And it looks like we're squared away, so 3:32 to go. A 2-minute power play here for the Max, and a chance for them to take the first lead of the game. Into the right side corner. There's a big part in the game here, folks. Trewin on the blue line. Trewin tries to hand that to Lovett. They'll have to chase after. Welsh gets tied up. It's in amongst the feet. Welsh getting pressure by McDonald. Hand it off. Just back to Lovett. Lovett in over the blue line. Fleming circles back. Fleming gets the puck overtaken, and the Knights with a good job there to send that down by McDonald. Trewin getting pressure. Doyle in on it as well. Doyle trying to stick with Welsh. Welsh over to the right side. In over the blue line. That shot in around. Couple stick lifts. I think Knight's coach told them to be aggressive here because they're keeping guys high, trying to stick lift and not even let them set up here the max power play. Halifax up through the middle, love it. In over the line on the right side, love it. Back to Guinish. Guinish worked across. Down low near the doorstep, Pierce. Back to Bottomley. Over to Guinish. Shear, shot, rebound. Bounces just past the tick of Strong. Strong over. Back to Shear. Guinish. Shear. Through traffic. Rebound on the doorstep and covered up as it ricochets off the pad. And some more pushing and shoving post whistle. Face off to the left. Under 2 minutes to go and 21 seconds on the power play as we work to the end of the second period. It's been an exciting last 6 or so minutes. That one catches the back of the pants. Guinish steps up. Done with a little chip at it. Gets it over to McDonald, who fires it into the end wall. Campbell. Guinish. Halifax up to the middle, Shear. Back over to Bottomley. Pressure on Bottomley, now Shear. Steered, that's gonna catch mesh. And power play will be over, so a kill and it's still 2-2. We'll wait for the play here. On the left side, still in the Knights' end. 76 seconds remaining here in the second. Flipped off the boards. Breen just exits the zone. Back in behind for Clinton. Slows up. Looks for the pass. Connects. Over to the right, McLaughlin. Knights. Grab it, play it to the end boards. Pressure in there, Haverstock. Has it knocked into the shin pads, touched on side. And quite a few whistles here down the stretch between these two squads. 48 seconds now. Puck dropped in. Clinton fans on it. Tried to get it back in. Now McLaughlin. McLaughlin on the right side. Shoots. Save made. A little whack in after the whistle. Campbell doubles over for a second there. Face off here on the right. Puck dropped in there. Picked up by the Max. Flip that off the boards. Clinton keeps it in on the blue line. Trying to get it down the right side. Kept in for Suds. Suds. Hands off. Burst of speed here up the left side. Truin. Looking for a lane. Truin forced him behind. Truin off the skate over to Proud. Proud up the glass. Thought maybe it cut some mesh there. Love it. Maybe had a case for that one, but we'll continue on. Campbell. 11 seconds now. Hand it off. Up hits the stick of Suds. Sent in, and Campbell Whoa, as a stick gets up high there. McLaughlin from Suds. I think it was you just making the defensive play, but the stick kind of caught him up high. And we've got 4 official seconds on the clock here, tied 2-2. So we are in for a third period, folks. We have our intermission coming up shortly. Puck dropped into the feet. McDonald trying to get that through. Spinning by Doyle. Tips, and Fleming keeps him honest back there. And that will do it for our second period of action. So 2-2 after 2. We'll be back for the third in a moment. Hello, everybody, and welcome back here to the third and potentially final period of action between the Knights and the Max. 2-2 the score. We got a tie game, so wipe the two first periods off. We've just got one here to determine a winner, as we'll get right into it. Nice play there by Dunn to keep that puck from a breakout the other way as it bumbled off his stick. They got the offside, though, as the four culprits of the fights in the second return to the penalty boxes. 22-13 the shots. Face off in the neutral zone. Fleming wins that up ahead as Sullivan hustles down the left side. Sullivan getting worked off to the end boards. Max over to Truin. Truin shot blocked there, and a little probably could have been a cross check there on Sullivan. He stays alive, and it'll head back the other way. McDonald picks it in. Shot. Campbell makes a save. Rebound comes out. Fleming backhands. Turned over to the Knights. Turned over back to Fleming. And now Salvaggio put some pressure on into the end boards. Oh, and puck was free there, but whistle goes, and we'll have that whistle a minute into the third here. Face off here on the right. That puck's picked up. They tried to do the Hail Mary pass there to McLaughlin. It gets sent in, delayed offside against the Max. Knights move it up through center. Shoot. Save made. Campbell covers it up. And we'll have the face off here to the left side. Great Friday night action here in Amherst. Face off on the left. Picked up and in behind. That's going to be a race for Bottomley. Bottomley gets to it. Slows up. Shoots. Blocker save, and a nice one there by Kennedy as he stayed sharp and steered that away. Bottomley sent back in. Knights over to McPhee. Oh, and a hit there. And I think the Knights will head to the power play. There was a reverse check. And Scheer going off for head contact. He's saying, I got hit. He definitely went down, but he'll be heading to the box. And now it'll be PP time for the Knights. 2-2 with 18:26 remaining. So frustrated there as 3 Max will sit in the box, shorten up the bench a little bit, and power play for the Knights. Now they kick Campbell out for Doyle going early. McDonald will come in. Picked up on the left side. Clinton shoots. Blocked into the mesh. Puck dropped over to Clinton. Tried to work that back in, and it's back the other way. Love it. Love it. In on net. Can't get a clean shot off as Kennedy steers it aside. Campbell down the left side and over the blue line. Campbell hands it off to the right. Back to Clinton. One-timer blocked by Fleming. That was a stinger as he tries to forget about that one as quick as humanly possible. Clinton down to McDonald. McDonald shoots. Puck not making it through, and it'll exit the zone. Clinton tags up. They bring it back in over the blue line. Fired around the end boards. Campbell. Campbell. Played in behind. Slapped to the end wall. Knights over to Clinton. Worked around the right side. Between the legs. Nice little move there. Brought in over the line. Max standing him up. Waiting. Back in behind. Knights to the right side. Over to McDonald. Hand it off to Doyle. Doyle in over the line. Kick at the shot off clean as it exits the zone and a minute gone in the power play. Kennedy pressured by Liver. Liver picks it up in the feet there. A nice job sticking with it. A great PK player. A lot of tenacity for Liver. And that always translates well to the penalty kill. McInnes. Couple sticks being whacked at there. Comes back through to the center. Hunter pulls back. Knights. Move up the left side. Hunter. Shoved. Suds. In around. McInnes. Tries to go back down low with that. Stop to the middle. Picked up and in the opposite direction. .14 seconds to go. McInnes. 13 seconds in the power play is Welsh down the right side into the end boards. Dunn picks it up from Kennedy. Dunn cuts in front of the net there. Hands that off to McInnes. We're back to 5-on-5 over to Witherby on the right side. Witherby looking for a lane. Shot, steered aside. Flipped up in the air. Comes back down onto the stick of Welsh. Kisses off the glass. Comes back down for the Knights. Worked into the wall on the right side. Max in over the line. Toe drag in, trying to free that puck up. Won't go. Witherby. Down the right side. Poked out there by Uzuchukwu. Truin in behind. McKenzie. Pressers Truin. It'll be 2-on-2. Ref yelling move it as the whole rink comes to a stop. Now it's knocked back over to McKay. McKay, lead pass to Strong. Strong down the right side. Cooper Strong loses it. Dunn in behind. Dunn to the right side. Knights trying to get that free. Couldn't quite corral it in time. Comes back to Truin. Slapped off the boards. Sent to the end wall. 15-19 to go. Face off. And the right end back into the Knights side. So it was 1-0, 2-0 for the Knights. And with about 7 minutes left to go in the second, the Macs storm back to tie it up 2-2. There's been power plays and PKs on both sides. Right now it's even strength, 15-19 to go in the third, still tied. Hard fought game. Max on the blue line into McDonald. McDonald, bounce play. That's going to be well offside. Breen tries to get it up to Strong. Misses his stick. Knights into the feet of McDonald. Hand it over. Chip play over the Witherby. He'll get it in midair, but it's brought down by Haverstock. The former Gull works it up the right side. Back to Haverstock. Haverstock stepping in. Shoots. Glove save as he picked his spot. And now some more pushing and shoving. Face off on the right side here. Picked up Scheer. Tries to get that down low. Liver gets knocked down and quickly sent. And that was a 4-minute penalty on that last play. So, big opportunity here for the Macs. It was after the whistle it came. I'm guessing head contact. So the Macs with a 4-minute power play with only 14:24 left to go. And another key point in this game. Liver on the right side. Liver on the doorstep. Comes back through. Over to Scheer. Passes off to Guinness. Back to Scheer. Right side. Shear. To Guinness. Into Liver. Liver tries to pick his spot. Save made by Kennedy. Bounces right back out to him. Minute gone in the 4-minute power play. Back to Guinness. Guinness through traffic. Well high. Max. Shear. Into the middle. Right side. Wide open net. And it goes wide. Liver was down to one knee. The man on one knee there. Trying to finish that off. Shear. Tries to center. Guinness shoots. Pad save. Doorstep. Save made. Wow. And another save on the empty net is Kennedy. Had it hit the glove and the mask, which knocked his mask around, which caused the whistle. And another goal that brings the Knights out of the seats. It does not find the back of the net. The Max with a great look there. And just more spectacular goaltending here tonight in Amherst. That has been the name of the game in this 2-2 affair. 3 highlight reel saves. 1 for Campbell, 2 for Kennedy. And we remain 2-2. Second unit out here, Truin. Truin. Well in behind the net. Wrapping to the left side. Shoots Kennedy with a save with relative ease there. As we'll head back to the face-off dot. 2:15 left to go here in the power play. Puck picked up and headed down the left side. Max trying to bring that across. McDonald creates a turnover shot and the save made in tight. The ref didn't really make much of a motion there as a grade A look, shorthanded. Now 2 minutes flat to go on the penalty kill. Campbell has had to be sharp back there. That one right there came back and was a shot on net in a hurry. Pierce hands it off. Knights pick it up and fire it to the end wall. Max drop that back. Shear brings it in over the line. McKay down to the dot and to the blue line. Shear. Hand it off. Left side. Shot. Save made by Kennedy. Welsh worked into the boards. McKay flips it back over. Shear shoots. Blocked by Pierce. Tried to get that out. Couldn't do so. Liver to the middle. 1 minute 14 left to go on that power play. Tips off the stick. Loose there in front. And Kennedy smartly dives out of the net and covers it up. So 1 minute and 9 left to go on the power play here now with 11:53 left to go in the game. Face off on the right. Into the feet. That comes back to the blue line. Shear. Guinness. Steps in. Shot ricochets. Into the corner. Bottomley. Bottomley feeds it back to the blue line. Guinness. Over to Shear. Back to Guinness. Shoots. Scores! Bottom right corner. And the Max take their first lead of the game with 11:35 to go. On the power play. We head back to center. So the Max with a huge goal with about halfway to go here in the third. Puck dropped in, so the first lead of the game comes late as The team from Halifax has been pushing, and on their 35th shot of the game will take that lead. And now it's up to the Knights to try to come back in this one. Dunn fires that down, and it's sent well down for icing. Back here to the right side. Puck in behind over to McInnes. McInnes tries to feed that through. Uzuchukwu breaks it up. Salvaggio sends it into the end boards. McInnes gets worked in along the wall. Max. Go head up. Truin. Flipped in around. McKenzie has it hit the feet. Bounces back to the red line. To the corner, McKenzie. Tied up along the half wall there. Ref tells them to move it. They do. In the corner. Tries to free that up. Knights overskate it. Now picking it up in their own corner. That hits a stick on the bench and ricochets back into play. You don't see that every day, but it'll be an automatic whistle here. 10-17 to go here in the third. So halfway through the third, 1 goal deficit for Charlottetown. Back in behind here for the Knights. Turnover to Welsh. Welsh in on net. Big pad save by Kennedy. And you don't want to say one that saves the game, but keeps him in it. McPhee hands it off. Shot. Pad save the other way. And a quality look. That one had a chance at the back of the net, and Campbell steers it aside. Impressive as McPhee brings it in offside. Whistle goes. And back-to-back stellar stops. Face off here on the right. And we'll head to our final media timeout here at the halfway point. Want to thank our sponsor one final time, Some Good, for healthy alternative options with your Freezies pregame or postgame. We are back here with the finish in our one game of the night in Amherst. Odell and Creelman and the rest of the crew still in the penalty boxes, so obviously after the fight they got served up pretty good. 10 minutes into this period, they're still sitting around there hanging out. Odell and Creelman, as I mentioned earlier, are 2 Media Day members, so a few more minutes hanging out there for those two. Big hit there on Bootlier as the helmet comes up, pushed right back down, back into the back half of this period. Campbell has it in the feet. Max trying to work that up ahead. Drop that off to the left side. Pass through. Backhand. Save made by Kennedy. Once again. Lays down off the deke. It keeps his team in it. McPhee down the left side. He starts to bob and weave. Nice stick handles. Gets it over to the right side. Campbell. Campbell works around. Back low and low for McPhee. They have to work quick against this Max team. Pierce. Shot. Comes out the other side, but bounces to the corner. Liver jumps on that turnover. Picks it up, hands it over to Welsh. Welsh back down for Liver. In behind. Worked off into the right side corner. Guinness shoots and scores. That one finds the tiniest lane you could think of and picks its spot. We had a good angle here, and that finds the back of the net, and the fella from Sydney with a big third period here, 4-2 with 8:46 to go. So 4 straight goals for the Macs, and they are ahead by 2. Down the left side, McDonald steps up, shot goes around, and it comes back to Dunn. To the corner, in behind for Doyle, trying to center that pass. Charlottetown needing to get something going here to try to keep themselves in this game. Love it. Goes wide. Back to the corner, Doyle, lead pass, onto the stick, potential half breakaway here down the right side. Rico shoots and scores! So, the goal the other way, and with 8:06 to go, a big marker there for the Knights to keep themselves in this game. And now, just 1 goal away from tying it up. So, what's been an exciting game from the first 2-3 minutes has continued all the way through here until the last 8. 4-3 the goal, and just what the doctor ordered there for the Knights. Max still in the lead though, with 8:06 remaining. Puck dropped in back for the Knights. On the right side, it comes over to Suds. Suds fires one in there to the end boards. McKenzie picks it up, finds more. Shear. Shot to the corner, Salvaggio picks it up, backhands as they try to get the rush going again, jumps over the stick of Moore. Over to McKenzie, down in the end boards, around for Liver. Liver waits, chips it up to Strong, Strong to Shear, and offside is not quite on the same page on that break-in, as a whistle will go with the 30 more seconds killed. Puck dropped in and handed off. Chipped up the right wall. In behind, looking for it. Grabbed. McKenzie. Past the stick. That will be sent down for the icing Campbell. 7:20 remaining as we head into the night's end. Puck dropped to Boutlier. Boutlier fires it back in around McKenzie. Slows up on the end wall to the right side corner. Picked up in behind for Boutlier. Max. Past the stick there. Fleming down for Pierce. In amongst the feet. Step in. Shot goes high as it tips off a skate. Played back to the middle. They try to chop at it. Haverstock to the end wall. Salvaggio in behind for Pierce. Pierce over to McInnes. Along the right side. Brought in over the blue line. Looking for a lane. Down along the end boards, a little shove. Comes back around. Haverstock tries to stick with it. Fleming kisses it off the glass, comes back down to Pierce. Pierce up through the middle. Backhand into the end wall. Breen looking to get that to Odell. Plays it off the wards. In behind Pierce. Hand it off to the right side. Hunter. Nice one-touch pass there, but gets by McInnes. In behind for Trewin. Trewin kisses it off the glass, back the other way. Knights. Pick up, puts it to center. Brought back in across the line, in behind for Kennedy. McInnes touches that to the middle. Picked up by Hunter. Hunter over to Bullpit. Trying to get that back down. Welsh to Sullivan. Knights back in behind past Guinness. Truin to the end boards. Dunn chases. Dunn spins it, turns it over. Well shot into the glove. Stop made there. 5 minutes to go. 1 goal game still. Puck dropped in as we are in for the finish here, folks. 37-20 the shots for the leading Max by 1. That's sent in off the blocker. Back in behind. Little ricochet to McPhee. McPhee tries to set up the rush back the other way. Picked up on the other side by McLaughlin. Shoots near to side. And the best look in a little while there for the Knights as the face-off will head to the left side. Face-off coming. Dropped in, flipped off the boards, a little whack at it. Campbell brings it back in the opposite way. McPhee back to Campbell. Creelman over to the left side. Nice job pinching in on that to keep the play alive. McPhee feeds it in front, not going to quite make it there. Max up over the head and back down to McKay. McKay into the feet of Bottomley. Now over to McPhee. They're going for the stretch pass strategy, but instead McPhee skates that in and he gets toppled over, and face-off will come down to the left side in that end, the end of the Max. Face-off here. Suds flips it off the boards. That one kicked up ahead to Scheer. In near the end wall, Kennedy flips it around the glass. McDonald slows it up. Dropped over. Knights try to snap that pass, but instead Liver all over that one. Flips into the bench. 3:42 remaining. Face off in the offensive zone for the Max this time around. Four, 3 our score. Picked up off a shin pad. Now the Knights to the left side. McDonald. McDonald shoots. Goes all the way around. Dunn steps in on it. Dunn tries to fire that. Still has possession. Oh, and looking for that backhand. If that could have connected with the stick, a good look, but not enough on it. Now Proud gets it over to Doyle. Doyle spins, hits the end boards. Rinko in behind Scheer. Scheer to the end ball. Suds plays it up the wall again. Can't get rid of it. Knights pressuring here late. 3 minutes to go. Rinko tries to hand that back out in front. Liver chases after it. Right side, Creelman out there. Fresh legs for sure. Flips it off the glass. Proud keeps it in. Goes back into Creelman. Now it's sent out. This time didn't catch glass. Stays in the zone. 2:45 remaining. Puck dropped in. Fleming hands it off to the left. Picked up into the end boards. McKenzie with a little shove. Down along the end wall. Puck comes free. Backhand. Spinning it around. Max along the right. The little tip play and a shove there in front. A healthy one by the netminder Kennedy. They're going to leave it, but definitely got his lick in there. Picked up and down the right side. Knights brought in over to McPhee. And it looked like initially he got it, but the ref gives the whistle with 2:09 to go. And we are in the finish line here. Can the Knights tie this up and force us to extras? Or does Halifax have the comeback completed? Welsh hands that back, Breen to Trewin. Trewin up ahead. It's going to be a full court press here for the Knights. We'll keep an eye on the netminder. Lead play to Doyle. Doyle, stick handles through. Doyle trying to get an open shot, but it gets shoveled back to McKenzie on the line. Handed off. Now the netminder's out. So 6-on-5 here for the Knights. Shot to the doorstep. Welsh backhands it. Doesn't get anything on that one. Odell skates it up ahead. Clinton in behind. Pass some sticks to Breen. Knights are going to have to push. Trewin down there in the corner. Looks to get it out. McDonald pressures. It'll come back near center. Clinton over to the right side. Knights over the blue line. Tries to hand that through. Welsh hands it up ahead. Skating for it. Welsh in over the line and stopped up. We're still alive with the Knights. Max go back on the back foot. In over the line. Try to work down to the right side corner. Absorbing the hit. Flipped up the right wall. Bottomley. Nice play there by Bottomley. They get it back to center. Dunn chases him into the final minute of play. Shear on Dunn. They get tied up down low. Looking for a call. None forthcoming. In front, they score. And the Max will finish the empty netter and skate out of here with a comeback victory. 5-3 the score. And Bottomley buries that one. And what a game this was here tonight. And we'll head back to center with what could be our last face-off of the night. This Max team shows a lot of tenacity and a lot of heart as they obviously improve their record 20-0-0 here in Atlantic Canada matchups. Weatherby hands that back over. Up the right side. That one's touched. Oh, one said no, one said yes. And that will bring us down the right side here into the Charlottetown night. These two teams could see each other later this year, or I suppose into next year at Ice Jam. You never know. Puck picked up. Knights more. Brings it over the line. Max Strong going to pick it up into the middle. Haverstock shoots one, goes wide. 17 seconds to go. McKay spins and they'll cover it up. 14 seconds. Face off coming. Knights win that one. Try to move that up ahead. Someone loses a neck guard out there. Salvaggio to the right side, looking for a lane. McKay got a pressure. And with 3 seconds to go, that will do it in night number 1 here at the Amherst Stadium Series. And that'll do it for us here on High Button Sports. So we appreciate you tuning in. We'll have more action tomorrow and Sunday, but that'll do it for us here tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. My name's Jeff Werburn. See you next time.